Absolutely, golf courses can be beneficial for the environment, and we've seen it firsthand. I mean, a lot of times when you're out there during construction, as you're getting started, you'll see flora, fauna, you'll see wildlife. They might depart while the bulldozers are out there, but when you come back and things are quiet and the golf course is grassed and restored, they all come flocking back. And I think it's our job as golf course architects, not only as a responsibility to the natural environment, but in the responsibility to our golf courses, that they should come as close as possible to reflecting the natural surrounds. A good friend of ours, Bill Kittleman, who's the pro at Marion for a long time, he always talked about golf courses in the sense of being like a tapestry. You know, you go to these ancient churches and you see these tapestries hang on the wall. And in the center of them, where everything's still tight and wound and bound and the colors are still vibrant, that reflects in a golf hole. And that from the standpoint of fairways, greens, tees, all should be maintained as we would hope and expect, but hopefully with grasses that work in that climate, instead of forcing a grass to work in a climate where it doesn't belong, which then brings into question a lot of additional resources, additional water, etc. We want that out. But then as you get to the end, or get to the edges of the tapestry, it gets a little bit frayed and a little bit blurred, and it's not quite as tightly wound, and that should be the transition of the golf course back into the natural environment. And that can be enhanced by incorporating indigenous plants. We don't want to build a golf course in Florida that looks like a golf course we built in Scotland. We want to make sure that they belong and feel like they belong in their own environment and their own habitat. And by doing so, we'll absolutely create habitat for wildlife to come back in and to flourish in those surrounding areas. And so if we are responsible in our approach to the recommendations for the turf grass selection, we're responsible in the way we treat the earth. We don't mash it up. We don't basically break down the natural soil structure that is there, which will allow the turf grass to flourish. We don't break down the soil structure in the surrounds, or we put fencing up around all the native habitat that we want to try and preserve and tie back into. If we're careful and cautious and take forward-looking thoughts into construction, we can protect that property as well as anybody, and that will only speed up the transition back into the natural habitat that should surround the course.